And again, I may be, I may be just special because, I'm just, I'm good at what I'm good at. But when it comes to technology, that's not my thing. But now knowing and understanding how automation works, understanding what the funnel is, being able to do it hands-on, I'm a lot more comfortable today than I was at day one.
I want to change lives. I want to show people how to progress in their money. I want to show people how to progress in their mindset. I want to show people how to progress in their brand so that way they can take care of their family, take care of their finances, and experience freedom.
Thank you, Vera, for joining us for our Progressive podcast, where we're showcasing our amazing entrepreneurs and their stories with our platform. Do you mind introducing yourself and your business and what you do?
Sure. My name is Vera Jones, and this is just one of the things I do, classesforclashes.com. I guess overall, I'm a motivational speaker. I own my own company, Vera's Voice Works, LLC, and I've been doing motivational speaking, training, and coaching. And that pretty much falls in the line of two major areas, one of which is I train other speakers or just people in general who are looking to present. I do that through a platform called the Perseverance Speakers Academy. And then I also do a lot of training and coaching as it pertains to conflict resolution. So I do that under the umbrella of Play Through the Foul and Classes for Clashes. And Classes for Clashes is my brand new product that I just launched, and which is how I kind of fell into the lap of Audate Media and Progretta and all of that stuff, because I was looking for a way to just kind of navigate me having to do so much and just to be able to streamline and automate a little bit for this online course. So that's kind of how I arrived here.
Yeah. So how did you meet Andy and Audate Media? How did you, find us?
I keep scratching my head. I'm like, how did I find? I'm pretty sure I think I belong to Network After Work. I think that's where I found it. Anyway, I get a lot of emails constantly, probably like most people, for different events. I like to stay up to date on what's going on. I have to stay up to date on what's going on, especially in the corporate world and government, because that's where the bulk of my clients come from. And so it was a networking event that was offering a webinar. And so I went to that webinar, brand marketing webinar, and that's pretty much how I started learning about what you do and learning about Andy as well.
And what got you into your field?
Oh, my goodness. I think I came out of the womb running my mouth. Like, I'm pretty sure I was talking at birth. So my background was I'm a broadcaster. I retired from sports broadcasting after 30 years. So I had many, many stops, ESPN, Fox Sports, NBA TV, the Big Ten Network. So a lot of stops over that 30-year period of broadcasting. I also was a radio DJ. My background was in communications, and I decided to use my communications degree to help others, like I said, learn to speak. But also because I'm a former athlete, I discovered a lot of athletes have a little, not going to put down those that aren't athletes, but we have a little different mindset. So my very first book was called Play Through the Foul. And that's the mindset I'm talking about. It's a mindset of understanding that adversity happens. It's kind of the win some, you lose some, but you get back up and you play the game over and over again. And I started learning that a lot of corporations, whether they were having their own fouls, whether it was fouls with personalities, or it was just fouls of, wow, employee morale is down and we don't know how to bounce back. I was able to use a lot of those skill sets that I learned from coaching and from being an athlete, skill sets and mindset, and start parlaying that into a training program. And that's kind of how I got my start back in about 2008, 2009, and have been working with all kinds of corporations, government, education, athletics, have had a really, really exciting time in just being a corporate trainer overall, and coaching others. So that's pretty much it. I just started learning that the biggest foul we face every day is really in just learning how to get along with one another. And that's why I was so excited to launch the classes for clashes, because I use some of the same framework in terms of mindset to help people prioritize peace, to say, look, we're not always going to see eye to eye. How do we get through this? How do we find the win-win so that, we can continue to be productive and actually like each other a little bit as we work together? And that's not always an easy thing. And then when you start throwing in relationships, because you go to work and then you got to go home and deal with more people that get on your nerves from time to time. When you start looking at that, you realize being able to be skilled in conflict resolution is something we all should be trained in. That is my thought. I'm like, why didn't they teach us this instead of sitting us in the corner in timeout? Why didn't they teach us this in school, how to actually talk through, or what I call chat about what you're mad about, right? How to really have those conversations. So I became a certified mediator. I don't know. I fell in love with helping people through their drama, and I got really good at it. And so now I guess that's an area of expertise for me, is just conflict resolution and communication, and how to work all of that out. So that's pretty much how I fell into it. But believe it or not, it was all sports. It was learning. People go at each other all the time. And when it's all over, you still high five each other. You walk off the court, you say good game, and you keep it moving. And if we can learn to do that in our workplaces, that's an awesome thing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I also have a communications background. And I feel like a lot of people are like, well, what do you even do with that? I'm like, what do you mean? You use that every day in life.
Every day. Yeah.
But no, I totally agree. I know some people really can't separate business and friendship. And it's like, you can be mad at someone professionally and still like them as a person. So you're doing great work. I know a lot of people, they need help understanding that. But how has been your experience with creating the course with Audate Media?
Well, it's been good, because I cheated. Like when I first came on, I don't know why I thought I was going to be able to do the do-it-yourselfer, but I cheated and called you guys and said, nope, I don't want to do any of this, do all of it. And so that's been good, because being able to, it was already enough work for me, just personally, just getting all of I think I had close to 50 videos, right, that I had to get done in order for the content to get done. And like I said, I've been a broadcaster my entire life. I've been doing this for a very long time, but recording that many videos, that many different modules of training, I had no idea how time consuming that would be. So as I started, I began to realize it's going to take me forever if I have to record it, and I have to figure out, get over the learning curve of how to get it into Progretta. So it was great that I could just rely on you all to just kind of keep me on track of what was needed. And that upload was kind of done for me. So that part was like, thank goodness. But now moving forward, the cool thing is that there's kind of a template that exists. So now I know I can go back in and probably redo some things. Hopefully, I'm fingers crossed, because I'm not swearing to this, but hopefully I'll know how to do it myself. If not, I'll be calling you guys again.
Of course, and we'll be here to answer that phone. And how has, because I know, the course is hosted through Progretta, how has learning Progretta gone for you?
It is definitely, I'm going to be really, really honest. I have an assistant that works with me, and Michelle is less technical than even I am. So in terms of implementation, we had to learn what a funnel is. There was so much that we just didn't know. I mean, this was like, it needed to be kindergarten level for us. And although it was a very, very frustrating learning curve, because there was just so much we didn't understand, now that you're over the hump, like I said, play through the foul. Now that we're over the hump, I can use Progretta for the customer, the CRM, the customer relationship management, and we're using it for that. I can send these automated emails, and that I can, there's so many things that I could do, but learning how to do it definitely is not for the weak at heart. If you're not technologically gifted, can't even say the word. I think I'm allergic to it. You're going to have to set the time, really, really set the time aside, watch the videos, dive into it. And again, I may be I may be just special because, I'm I'm good at what I'm good at. But when it comes to technology, that's not my thing. But now knowing and understanding how automation works, understanding what the funnel is, being able to do it hands-on, I'm a lot more comfortable today than I was at day one. So it's a process. It's definitely a learning process that you can't get frustrated with. You have to just keep learning a little bit at a time and keep doing it a little bit at a time until you go, oh, now I understand. When they go to the opt-in page, it's going to collect all of their data and then it's going to place it over here. And then there'll be a tag where I can find, yeah, at that point, you're like, oh, but in the beginning, I was like, no, this is French. I don't speak French.
I think you said a very key phrase that, not get frustrated with it. Because I feel like some people, they'll get frustrated and they're like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to see the CRM anymore. But like you said, I feel like it's amazing when I see customers get that wow moment when everything connects, because it is a very large platform. There's so much you can do and it all connects with each other at the end. But yeah, like I do agree. Like at first it's like, okay. But we hope and want for our customers to be able to utilize this platform to help grow their business and kind of get them a little more hands off and have more people come to them.
Yeah. The one thing that I think for me, it's you just don't know what you don't know. Like what I began to learn is I didn't even know what questions to ask, right? Because that's how much I just did not know. Now, again, I feel like, okay, I know what it is that I'm trying to program. I know what it is that I need to accomplish. So it is a little easier. You just have to get yourself familiar. And there are probably people who are leaps and bounds wiser than me when it comes to technology. So it probably, like now I can look back and I'm like, oh, well, it probably wasn't as quite that difficult, but it felt overwhelming at first. And then there were little things that I didn't know that are simple, like just doing my social media, like having one place that I could just go to and schedule my social media. I'm like, who knew? I've been wanting this forever. And it was right there. I didn't even know to ask. Like that was one of the many features that you get with Progretta that I was like, oh, I have this. Yay. Right. So yeah, it's definitely been a learning curve because there's so much to the platform. There's so much to learn. There's so much you can do with it. So you have to be patient and take it in those baby steps that are necessary so you can be fully productive with it.
Yeah, I remember when we went over the social media planner.
Yeah, I was like, I have that.
I love that tool. It really facilitates posting, and you're able to post to many accounts at the same time. How has been your experience with that social media planner tool?
Well, the cool thing is, I actually now have someone that does my social media, and I might not need them anymore, right? Like I'm going, I don't know if I need to keep paying. I definitely have someone, because now I feel like instead of having a content manager, I might be able just to have a graphic designer that just does it, right? Gives me the post and I can just schedule that. It's a big difference between having someone that's just a graphic designer price wise and someone that is, managing everything, posting everything. So it kind of allows me, if I want to just kind of say, you know what, really don't need this feature anymore. And it saves me money on that end. It doesn't make sense kind of from a business perspective to do that twice. So right now I'm still using that person, but it's nice. And I believe that person, because they're a contractor, they use whatever they use. But it's nice to know that I can say, hey, here's my platform. Just go ahead and schedule everything through this. That way I can check in, I can look at it, I can see, oh, no, I don't want to post this on Thursday after all. And it becomes more of a platform that we all can use as opposed to me just having to contract out. So that feature has not fully been, I've used it only a couple of times. But like I said, I use the other person. I have a content manager, but that changes the game for me a little bit because it's nice to know that if I don't want to use that anymore, the content manager anymore, I can kind of do it myself if I finally think I can do it myself.
All right, great to hear. What has been a feature on Progretta that has either surprised you or has made things easier?
I think for me, now that I understand how landing pages work,
Mm-hmm.
I think that it opens the door for me to do a lot of things, for instance, or the automation in general, not just the landing page, because now, I can set up a landing page for webinars specifically right in Progretta instead of like using one of the event pages that's out there. I can set that up and it's going to capture everything I need to capture right there. And it's going to facilitate the emails, that I need to go out or the text messages or whatever it is. I think that opens a lot of doors because I can do a lot of different automation setups. For instance, like I said, one is like a webinar. That's one way to capture clients or leads. But in the future, I started thinking about what I'm offering. People, instead of necessarily just wanting to do the course, they want some one-on-one coaching. So maybe setting up an automation where I have a calendar where people can literally say, I'm really interested in just, so they'll still go to the landing page. I'll capture that information. And once they, sign up, they can just right away, they'll get the link to the calendar. They'll be able to get the calendar. I'll ask them some questions through the survey. And then I can just start to meet with people one-on-one because as I've launched this, I'm starting to find there are people that really, really want help. They need help. They need someone that they can talk to one-on-one, not just the course alone. So in the future, I'm looking forward to being able to build that out as well.
Yeah, it's great. And Progretta can really help you with that. With the unlimited calendars that you're able to make on there, you can definitely have one specific for one-on-one coaching. And I think what's really great about Progretta is that with the automations, you can choose specifically what you want to automate. So you can automate just for that calendar. But I think that's great. That's good to hear that, people want to work with you one-on-one. What is some advice that you have for for other business owners when they're thinking about getting a CRM?
I think the biggest thing is, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's just so true, is that I think for me, expecting to learn something that can do so much, expecting to learn it in a short period of time, right? But then once it's give and take. It's going to take a minute to learn everything you need to do because there's so much it can do. But once you do grasp it, it's just magical, to know that it just is going to run and just do everything on its own. So my biggest advice was, because I definitely, I felt like I was kind of in a time crunch to get some things done. I had this course I wanted to launch. And I had a lot on my plates, and it was just very, very hard to be in a space, in a learning space, when you're in a doing space. I'm not convinced you can do both, right? Like, I think you have to have a segment. You had to compartmentalize that this is my week to learn, or my 2 weeks to learn, or my month to learn, or my time of day to learn. And then this is my part to do. So I would just highly recommend to get in the mindset and the headspace of, so that you don't get frustrated, get in the mind space of, I have to learn this. And once I do, I'll never have to do this again. Right. So it's like anything else. You have to learn it. But man, there's just so much that it can do once you do learn it. So that's my biggest thing, is just, it's playing through the foul. It's knowing that, because I get frustrated easily. I'm working on it. I'm getting counseling. I'm going to get a coach. I'm going to get a conflict coach to coach the conflict coach. But yeah, I get frustrated easily because, I'm one of those, I want it done now and I want it to be great. And it was humbling because I had to go back and learn something all over again. So that's my best advice, is just take a deep breath, get yourself some sweet tea or whatever it is that makes you happy. And take it all in and really, really learn it, because once you do, there's so many things you can do with it.
Yeah, I think because I worked with you and Michelle onboarding you guys. I thought you guys were great. I love that you guys were very like we want to learn this right now. Um, and it was amazing when when we were working and you were like, "Oh, you've made me happy twice today," and I was like, "Yay!"
Yeah, Michelle was done. Michelle's like, I can't. I was like, Michelle, come on, hang in there. We got to get through it. So, yeah, you guys didn't tell us about that part. You didn't tell us that we were going to be pulling our hair out. But we were really nervous. We just wanted, because there's so many questions, and when you're not experienced, you're so afraid. I mean, I'm like that with technology anyway. I'm so afraid I'm going to do something, I'm going to hit the wrong button and I'm going to delete a file, or I'm going to, so you just have, there's no other way to do it but just to do it. There just isn't. So once I finally just said, embraced it, I think that helped.
Yeah, and I think you guys both also, which is really great because you guys are both perfectionists, and I think that's amazing. And you guys just want to be the best out there. But it was a pleasure working with you guys, and I think you guys, graphs as quick as you guys could, and you guys weren't afraid to ask questions. But I did see that little shift when you guys were like, okay, and you guys finally got like a little deep breath. But it was great working with you guys. As you move forward in your journey, I guess what is your goal with Progretta as you move forward?
Well, it definitely is going to, I think the biggest thing, something I wasn't consistently doing, I had a CRM platform, a software program, but I wasn't really using it. And now knowing what I like best is, for instance, the tagging feature, being able to know this group of clients came from this event and this group of clients came from that event, or whatever it was. And then being able to go back and do the analytics to really see, which event is bringing in clients, what particular commercial that I'm running is bringing in the leads. In the future, I want to be really, really good at the analytics of it all, of really, really paying attention to what my clients want. Where are they? What are they looking for? What are they getting? What is that feedback? Maybe doing a little more surveying with my clients is through the email feature by being able to use the CRM. So thinking ahead, just really, really how I can service my clients better, to be sure that, because when you're a one or two person operation, you don't have that customer liaison. All you have is kind of you. And this allows you to be that, to be a bigger business, so to speak, to stay in touch with your customers a little more. So that's something I have not been doing, and I want to start doing more of in the future, is just really, really using the CRM feature, as well as obviously the automation as I'm moving forward in my marketing, in all of my marketing goals.
Yeah, and like you said, Progretta is really great with giving that data and those analytics to help you see what is working and what is not. That's great to hear. I know it all takes time, but it was a pleasure working with you and and your team.
Too.
And I'm glad you had a good time with us. I know, I know there were some moments where you want to put your hair up, but I'm glad you stuck it out.
And I don't have it. You don't even have that much. The little bit I have, I was like, ah.
But you stuck it out, and that's what matters. Again, gotta play through that file.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you for all the help that you gave us, Myra, because you were very, very patient with us, which really, really helps. So, and moving forward, I'm probably not done with you yet. So get ready. I'll be stressing you some more soon.
That's my job. That's what I'm here for. But I'd like to thank you for joining us and, giving us a snippet of your story and your experience with us. We really appreciate it here at Audate Media, and we look forward to continue working with you and your team.
Thank you so much. Good luck to you guys.